Hello everyone, my name is Evan, the Student Success Coach for all online learners at Geneva College. If you're watching this video, that means you were just accepted to Geneva and you're getting ready to start your very first classes. In order to get started, of course, you'll be able to, or you'll need to be able to log into your online classroom, and that is the purpose of this video today, just giving you a video guide of how to do so. So roughly 10 to 14 days prior to class, I'll be working with you, but I'll send you an email to your Geneva student email account that looks just like this. So you'll see a message here with this subject line explaining how to log into Moodle and get started within the classroom. So all Moodle is your virtual classroom. Just think of it as the place you'll go to interact with your classmate, with your instructor, and of course submit all posts, all papers, and any quiz or exams you might take. It's all done here in Moodle. So obviously it's super crucial to your time as a Geneva student being fully comfortable navigating the site. So obviously you'll need to get to Moodle. That is a big first step, and you'll want to click the link I sent right here to the Geneva Moodle website. It should open in a new tab, as you can see. I highly recommend favoriting this or bookmarking this page, saving it, and I'll include a video in the below this video here, a link to how to do that successfully. You'll definitely want to have quick access to Moodle, and we can always go through that more one-on-one if you have questions about bookmarking it. But once we're here, we're going to want to get logged in and get started. So as you can see, my regular credentials are saved right here. Whatever internet browser you're using, it might prompt you to save that. That's always a good idea as long as you're not sharing your computer and you're only using yours. It's not a public computer. It's always a good idea to save that info. So I'm just going to clear that out for the time being. And I'm going to use the information, the login credentials I sent to myself in this own email. So I'll send you, just like I did here, your username and temporary password. And just an FYI, your username will look just like your email address, except it won't have the @geneva.edu part. So if you ever forget it, that's one way to remember it. So I'm going to remember this. It is D.K. Schrute, my first initial, middle initial, and my last name, or part of my last name, depending on how long it is. I'm going to type that in. Now I'm going to go back and look, okay, what was my temporary password? I see that it's temp password 1 with exclamation point, capital P, capital T. So I'm going to type that in. Oops. And I think I typed that in correctly. I'm going to hit log in. Perfect. So now I'm logged in, and this is the main dashboard that I'm looking at here. You should see your classes populated right here. You'll most likely see more than what I'm seeing right now since this is just a sample account. But ADL 110, that is the kind of the first thing we'll want to look at today. That is the 1-credit class that kind of gives you a nice overview of everything you need to know for online learning. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. So you should see ADL 110 as well as a couple of your other classes here. So now that we're in on the main screen, the main dashboard here, I want to go back to the email for a second. And as you saw and as we entered is the temporary password that we use, but of course we want to change that to a more permanent password. So everyone will have a different temporary password, but of course you want to make sure it's a password you'll know and you'll remember. So I'm going to show you how to do these steps right here of changing your temporary password. So we're going to go back to Moodle. And in the upper right-hand corner, you should see your name, little arrow here, you want to click there. And there's a drop-down menu, and you want to click the word Preferences. This will take you to the Preferences screen, and the second option you want to do is Change Password. So in this, your current password is the temporary password I provided to you, so you want to make sure you type that in accurately. I think I did so. And then you want to create a new password. Keep in mind it needs to be at least 8 characters long, meaning letters and numbers, with one number itself, with an uppercase and lowercase letter, as well as one of those symbols like an asterisk or hashtag or pound sign, maybe exclamation point, something like that. So I'm going to change my password just to give you a full visual here. There's something I'll remember. Maybe you'll want to use the same password you use for your Geneva student email, something that you definitely know and remember. And if at any time, just want to make this very clear, you get locked out of your Geneva student account, you can't get logged in for whatever reason, maybe you need your password reset, please let me know right away. I don't mind if it's the middle of the day, or the middle of the evening, or sometime over the weekend. If you're locked out at any time, let me know and I will reset it for you as soon as possible. It doesn't take very long, only a couple minutes on my end. I'd rather have you get logged in and not be prevented from getting any work done just simply because you forgot your password. So definitely let me know and I can help you fix that. So now that I entered my new password, I'm going to click Save Changes. And it looks like I did it correctly because my password has been changed. So I changed it to something I'll remember, and please write that down so you know, or save it somewhere, maybe in your phone, so you know exactly how to log back in. So I'm going to click Continue. And while we're at this page, this isn't a necessary step, but it's something you might want to do. So we did click on Change Password, but right above that is Edit Profile. If you click there, it's just a basic, just like a social media page almost. You want to just update some info about yourself. As you can see, your email address should be there for Geneva, your student email. And in here, just give a brief description about yourself, maybe about your career, your family, what you like, what you dislike, maybe a fun fact about yourself. Again, not mandatory, but something a lot of students like to do. And even upload a picture. I think it could help you, maybe feel a little more connected to your fellow classmates and instructor, especially since you're kind of online and all working remotely. So once you're done updating that, if you want to click Update Profile, and that should save. It'll take you back here to the main Preferences dashboard. And in order to get back to the main dashboard, the top page of the Moodle, of your Moodle, you want to click the dashboard, either this word right here, that's a link, or at any time, click over here. And if you don't see this menu on the left, for whatever reason, it probably means this has just been collapsed. So if you can't see that menu on the left and you don't know where it went, just click this little burger button here. Kind of looks like a hamburger, I guess. Click on there and you should see that. So we're going to click dashboard right here. And as you can see, we are back at that main page where we got to when we first logged in. So the last thing I want to talk about here is the ADL 110 course. And that, as a reminder, is the 1-credit course that all new undergraduate students are required to take, but really it's just an introduction to online learning. Very helpful, kind of more of a tool than an actual class. So we're going to click on that right here, and this will open. And we are officially into the ADL 110 course in Moodle. So in case anyone noticed, I did quickly switch over to my own Moodle username. That's simply just because I have a little more access and I can show you a couple more things rather than using that dummy account. So if anyone noticed, that's why it looks a little different, but it is pretty much exactly the same thing. But every time you log into any of your classes, whether this is ADL 110, which is the 1-credit class, or your full 3-credit classes, you'll always see the news forum and these links right here, finishing with the syllabus. So in the news forum, that's super important to check out. I highly recommend you click on that in each of your main courses. ADL 110 won't be updated necessarily, but in your regular classes, each week your professor, your instructor will post important announcements, updates, outline the expectations for the week, maybe give you some study hints or things to focus on in your reading. So it's super important that you get in the habit of checking that out each single week. And then you can, of course, check these other things out as well, but you'll always want to click on the syllabus. So you don't have access to your actual week 1 or session 1 in your regular classes yet, but in each of your classes, ADL 110 and your other classes, you can actually click and open the syllabus. And as you can see, it is a pretty long, comprehensive breakdown of the entire course, outlining all expectations, grading policies, rubrics for your assignments, assignment due dates. Literally everything you can think of is there for you. So you just want to click the syllabus here. I recommend downloading those. Some students print those out even just so you have that kind of like the ultimate resource guide to each of your classes. So we're in ADL 110, not one of your regular classes, so it does look slightly different than one of your main courses. Instead of saying unit, your main courses will say session, and it'll be sessions 1 through 8 versus 6 units. And of course, in session 1, you can access session 1, but you'll have to wait for the next week to access session 2. But as you can see here, these units are pretty much available whenever you complete the previous one. So this one's not available unless you achieve a required score in Unit 1 quiz. So as long as you ace that quiz or get the right score, that will unlock Unit 2, and this little restricted word will no longer be here. So you want to work through this at your own pace, and you can actually get this done. You can do it in one sitting or break it up over multiple sittings, but I highly recommend you working on it. Try to get it done before the start of the actual term, before your regular 3-credit courses start and open up, because it'll just be an extra thing to worry about. And plus, as you can see by the titles of each unit, it's extremely helpful and it can help you learn more about Moodle, more about Geneva College, more about writing and how to be successful. So it is the ultimate learning tool prior to even getting started. If there are any questions about any of these units, you can certainly talk to me and ask me about it at any time. But let's really try to work together in the next 10 to 14 days to get all set with ADL 110 and get that knocked out of the way. So one thing I do want to highlight quickly, in Unit 2, once you get there, of course, like I said, you have to complete Unit 1 first. If you go into Unit 2, there are some videos that you'll watch that gives you a much more in-depth tour of Moodle. So if you're worried about, maybe you have a decent idea, but maybe Moodle isn't, this video doesn't make a ton of sense to you, there's a longer video that goes through each step of Moodle, really goes into greater detail than I am right now. That's in Unit 2. And also, there is a more in-depth video on the syllabus that breaks down all of this kind of page by page, line by line. So if you're worried about this looks like a lot, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'll ever remember all this, you don't have to. There's a video that will guide you through each step of the syllabus into greater detail. And again, that is in Unit 2, and you'll get to that as soon as you complete Unit 1. So for the purposes of this video, that's pretty much all I have for you for right now. I want to encourage all of you to get off to the strongest start possible. And I think the best way to do that is by exploring Moodle, playing with it, practice navigating through each of these tabs, go into each of your courses, not only ADL 110, but your other regular 3-credit courses. And even if you can't access the first week quite yet, of course, you can still access the news forum and everything up here, including the syllabus. So I strongly encourage you to go into each one of your classes. And while you're in ADL 110, maybe try your best to get it done, work through each unit, so you're fully equipped with all the skills and information to really hit the ground running from day one. So I know we throw a ton of information at you, so I really appreciate you watching. If at any time you have any additional questions beyond this video, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'd gladly work you through it, maybe even give you a more in-depth one-on-one tour over the phone. So definitely reach out to me if you feel like you need to. Thank you again. I will talk to you all very soon, and good luck getting started.